Good Friday morning, everybody. It's good to see you. Pastor Lance here as we continue our journey through the book of Psalms. And I have a very special guest today. Let's all welcome Sarah Langenberg, my beautiful wife. She has chosen to come on and share some scriptures with us today. So Sarah, do you have anything special before you read a Bible verse? Anything special you'd like to share with our congregation?
We miss you guys. Can't wait to be able to see everybody again and talk to you and spend time with you guys.
I just want to thank you guys for doing something that I know I couldn't have done on my own by encouraging her to get on the camera. She doesn't listen to me all the time, but she really listened to you guys. She heard your cries, and she has come prepared to share scripture with us today. Lane, are you going to join us?
Yeah.
Okay, let's introduce the boys. Who do we have here?
Lane.
Lane. Who do we have here?
Eli.
And who's over here?
Michael.
Michael's over there. We are outside on our deck this morning. It was a beautiful morning, and I wanted to show off God's masterpiece to you all. And so I wanted to enjoy this nice weather and get the sunrise. And so we wanted to be outside together and with you. And Sarah is going to kick things off today. Sarah, what scripture do you have to share with us today?
I have Psalms 78, 36 to 39. Bless you. It says, "But they flattered him with their mouths, they lied to him with their tongues, their heart was not steadfast toward him, they were not faithful to his covenant. Yet he, being compassionate, atoned for their iniquity and did not destroy them. He restrained his anger often and did not stir up all his wrath. He remembered that they were but flesh, a wind that passes and comes not again."
Very good. I'm actually going to be sharing out of chapter 78 also, but
Nice.
a different passage. Lane, would you like to go next? What did you find today? We're reading out of chapter 76 through 80. By the way, this is day 16. So 76 through 80 is what we read this morning. What would you read?
Psalm 76, verse 10 through 12.
Go ahead.
Surely the wrath of man shall praise you. The remnant of wrath you will put on like a belt. Make your vows to the Lord your God and perform them. Let all around him bring gifts to him who is to be feared, who cuts off the spirit of princes, who is to be feared by the kings of the earth.
Now, why did that stick out to you this morning?
Just tells us that we should fear God.
Very good. You always have very good reasons. I appreciate that about you. Good job. Michael, you wanted to share scripture today too? Okay, go ahead. Where are you at?
Psalm 77, verse 12.
Okay, read it loud. You're further away from the camera than you normally
I
would be.
will spend time thinking about everything you have done. I will consider it all your mighty acts.
Awesome. And why did that stick out to you today?
I forgot what my verse was, and I just looked at this.
He said he forgot what verse he had picked out, and so he just read the special little thing in his Bible. But it was a good passage, so very good. Eli, did you have anything special you wanted to share today? No? Okay. You're just happy to have Mommy here? Yeah.
No, he just said no.
Well, I'm also going to share out of chapter 78. So we finally hit our first really big chapter out of the book of Psalms. And all of you are probably thinking, well, how are we going to handle chapter 119? Because it's enormous. Are we still going to read 5 chapters that day? Yes, we are. So get ready, get prepared. If you read today's chapters already today, you've noticed that chapter 78 is pretty big. In my Bible, it's 2.5 full pages, just that one chapter. Sometimes when you read through the book of Psalms, some of the chapters are just a lot bigger than others. And so for me, no matter how big they are, I read 5 chapters all the way through, and that works for me. So just get ready. 119 is going to get grouped in with everybody else. So that's the way it is. But in chapter 78 today, I have verses 11 through 19. Now this is where the psalmist is talking about what God and the Israelites went through as they were wandering through the desert. And the psalmist, as Sarah hit the end of that passage, she was talking about how God still forgave them and led them and continued to take care of them. I'm earlier in the chapter, and this is where the psalmist is talking about how the Israelites, although they got to see God's miracles, they got to see his hand at work every day, they still groaned and complained and turned away from him. And this is what he had to say in verse 11. They forgot what he had done, the wonders he had shown them, He did miracles in their inside of their ancestors in the land of Egypt, in the region of Zon. He divided the sea and led them through. He made the water stand up like a wall. He guided them with the cloud by day and with the light from the fire all night. He split the rocks in the wilderness and gave them water as abundant as the seas. He brought streams out of a rocky crag and made water flow down like rivers. But they continued to sin against him, rebelling in the wilderness against the Most High. They willfully put God to the test by demanding the food they craved. They spoke against God. They said, "Can God really spread a table in the wilderness?" And I want to share that with you guys today because as I read that, it just made me think about how God has done miracles in each and every one of our lives. Simply walking out here and seeing the beauty that is creation is a miracle. We can look outside at the sunrise, at the beautiful trees and the awesome colors that come in spring, and we can see God's handiwork. We see his miracles every day, and we personally have had things done in our own lives. I know that God has done miracles in my life. And yet sometimes we still will forget what he has done. We'll turn our backs to him and we'll cry out for him to do more things. God, show me your will again. Show me your power and your miracles. When he's already done amazing things, he continues daily to do amazing things in our lives. And it just reminded me that I need to be content in my relationship with the Lord. I need to follow him, and I never want to forget the amazing miracles he has done in my personal testimonies. My personal testimony in my past, how he's helped to forgive me from my sins and help me overcome my sins and get to where I am today. I'm not perfect, but I'm not the man I was 5 years ago. That is a miracle, and I never want to forget those things. Life has changed for us, hasn't it, Sarah? It's a miracle.
Bye-bye.
May we not forget the miracles he's done in our lives, and may we be encouraged that he's going to continue to do miracles in our life. Day after day, he has not forgotten us. He has not turned his back to us, as Sarah's passage reminded us. He will continue to care for us and love us. So I want to leave that with you today. Don't forget the miracles God's done in your life. Don't forget the miracles he's still doing now. He is still with us. He is still on the throne, and I want to encourage you with that. So I love you. All of our family is praying for you daily, and we just want to say hello and goodbye. Say goodbye, everybody.
Goodbye!
We'll talk to you tomorrow.